Salutations and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Alicia and I am a type 2 diabetic, and I'm bringing you along on my journey as I incorporate Mounjaro as a tool in my toolbox to regaining my health and my recovery and remission of type 2 diabetes. So this is an update for weeks 15 and 16, and I'm coming to you here from the fitness center where I've been coming now for a few months to work on regaining my health. As I stated in the opening, I am a type 2 diabetic and have recently started Mounjaro as a medication to help me get my blood sugars under control. I come to you every couple weeks to just give you a little update to let you know how I'm doing. The last time we got together, I shared with you that I had titrated up to 7.5 milligrams, and I want to share with you that is going really well as far as not having any side effects. I'm really doing great. I give my shots to myself in the abdomen on Saturday evenings. I have a very light dinner, and then I give my injection, and I kind of do that just in case I'm not feeling well the next day, like what happened on the 2.5 and the 5. But really, I have not had any terrible side effects. I don't have any nausea. The last couple of injections, I have not had a headache like I had prior, and I'm feeling pretty darn good. Now, that's the side effects of it. Not too much to report on there. I wish I had more to report on as far as weight loss. My scale has been very slow to see the numbers go down. I will share with you though, I am in that next group of 10 numbers down. I did finally break that plateau of always just that 1 pound here and there of not being able to get down to that next little grouping of numbers that I was looking for. And I was finally able to break through that. So I'm very happy about that. I've learned over the last week though, thanks to ChatGPT, I may not have been as much in a calorie deficit as I thought I was. I was using my FitnessPal to keep track of all of my intake for the day. Everything that went in my mouth was going through my FitnessPal. And I have been making my own homemade Italian dressing. It is delicious. It doesn't have the seed oils in it. It doesn't have sugar in it. And whenever I would go to FitnessPal and I would look up Italian dressings, they did have a sugar-free Italian dressing. And so I was using that as my go-to to list what I was having. Well, I was wondering maybe that wasn't accurate enough. So I went to ChatGPT and I put all of the ingredients in and asked for the nutritional breakdown and the macros for a serving that I would normally have. I actually had it broken down into ounces and grams. And then I weighed out my salad dressing. I was way over my caloric budget for the last several weeks. And so that might be why the scale is not going down. So I have decided, as much as I'm loving my salads and as much as I love my homemade Italian dressing, I need to put the kibosh on that for a little bit. I need to tone that down, rein it in. I do have one head of romaine lettuce back at the house, and I have a little bit left of the Italian dressing in my shaker, and I'm going to use that up. I'm not going to let it go to waste, but I'm really going to cut back on that for a while. But the weather's starting to turn. It's 68 degrees here today, so there's a little chill in the air, and now is the time to start making peel-a-pound soup. And that's where you just get all of the vegetables, at the produce section, anything that doesn't have high starch. So I won't be putting in any potatoes. I won't be putting in maybe 1 or 2 carrots, but not many carrots. But any vegetable that you want to throw into this beautiful soup, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, which I'm not a big fan of brassicas, but when I blend it all up, it's not so bad. One thing I like to do, a trick I like to do when making a peel-a-pound soup is I get the broccoli slaw. That way it's already cut real fine and it just goes into my soup just fine. But I make it with a vegetable base, add all of my seasonings. If you want, you can add, one thing I used to do before I became a vegetarian was I would boil up a couple of chicken breasts, and then shred them real fine, and then add all of my vegetables in. And with this peel-a-pound soup, I like to make a big, huge pot of it. And then I just keep it in the fridge. And anytime I'm hungry, I just warm up a bowl of that soup. It's a very heart-healthy soup. It's actually very much in line with the cardiac soup that's recommended by the Mayo Clinic. And so I like to keep that in the fridge in the colder months, and that way I can just snack on that whenever I get hungry, and I don't have to worry about blowing my nutrition for the day. So I will be making those changes, and hopefully that scale will start coming down a little bit more. I would like to share I'm only about 10 pounds away from my lowest weight that I was when I was on chemotherapy for ovarian cancer. So I've come down quite a ways. I'm really looking forward to hitting that goal when I can say, hey, I weigh less now than I did when I was nearly on death's bed with chemotherapy. But I've been working really hard here at the gym. I come almost every day. I didn't come this last Sunday, but I come almost every day, and I'll put a little thing up here in the corner to show you like all the rings I've been closing on my Apple Watch. I'm here, I'm working. I've had a few people say, oh, you're on the shot, so you're kind of cheating. Well, not really. I'm not cheating. I've mentioned it before in the past in some of my prior videos that the Mounjaro is a tool in my toolbox. I am changing my diet. I'm being accountable. I'm drinking my water and my fluids every day. I'm making sure that I'm not overdoing the carbs, and I'm eating healthy food. And I'm at the gym every single day working and strengthening myself. I'm not just, walking, which is a great exercise, but I'm doing weight training as well, because you want to develop those muscles, because especially as you lose weight, and if you are on a GLP-1, you lose muscle mass. And I want to make sure that I don't do that. So I'm working out here at the gym. Presently, I'm in the middle of a 30-day kettlebell swing challenge. When I come here to the gym, I do 100 kettlebell swings every single day, in addition to walking the indoor walking track. Now, when I'm done with this challenge, I'm on day 15 today. When I'm done with that, I'm going to go back to the Japanese interval walking training. I think that was very beneficial to me at the time when I was doing that. So I'm going to do that again. But what I do now is I walk a lap or two around the indoor track, and then I do 10 kettlebell swings. And then I come back and do another couple laps, and then do 10 more kettlebell swings. Doing 100 in a row would just not be advisable, and I don't think I would keep proper form, and I think I'd probably end up hurting myself. So I don't want to do that. So I think that's just about it. My pants, my clothing is feeling looser. It's fitting better. I've gone down a few sizes since starting this wellness journey, and I'm happy about that. I shared with you a couple weeks ago that I had started adding a little bit of copper color to my hair, and just so I make myself feel a little bit better about myself during this journey. That's part of my self-care, is making sure that I put in a little bit of effort. I mean, I don't put too much in before I come here to the health club because I'm gonna get all sweaty, but it does feel good to do something different with my hair. It feels good to have a little pack of makeup with me, so when I go out, I can, put on a little mascara and a little bit of lip color. It feels good to be buying some smaller sizes in clothing, and that's something that messes with your brain though. As you're going through this self-care, you still see yourself as needing that 2X or 3X, and it's like, no, I can get away with just a large or an extra large now. I actually, as the weather is changing, speaking of clothing, I treated myself to some new lounge pants, some really soft, luxurious pants to just lounge around in and keep my legs warm, because it's starting to get cold in the old farmhouse. And I thought, well, I'll just get an extra large, and they are just hanging off of me. And so I have to kind of like really hike them up and make sure that when I'm walking around, I don't step on the legs because they're a little bit too long for me. If I had that big belly still, if I still had the big belly that I had before, that would hold that up a little bit, and those pants legs wouldn't be dragging so much, but they're starting to sag a little bit. So I'm gonna enjoy them through this season, and then next season they won't fit me at all. I'm gonna claim it. They'll be way too big, I'll have to donate them, and maybe I'll go down to like a large or maybe a medium, would be really great. So I do have a goal as I'm doing this GLP-1 journey and sharing with you about my diabetes. By the way, my numbers this morning were like 87. I woke up this morning and my blood glucose was 87. So just being on this health journey, exercising, and only taking the Jardiance, I'm not on any insulin, I'm not on metformin anymore, I'm just on my GLP-1 and Jardiance. Waking up in the morning to numbers like that, I think all day yesterday, I just hung around between 90 and 112 all day yesterday. So I'm really happy to see that change, that the numbers, my glucose numbers are really starting to stabilize. I'm liking that a lot. All right, well, that's pretty much the update for weeks 15 and 16. That means it'll be a full 4 months on Mounjaro. And I'm really happy so far with the results, no terrible side effects. And I am seeing progress in many, many ways, most importantly, my blood glucose numbers. All right, friends, well, that's it for this update for my GLP-1 journey. I hope that you are inspired, if you are a type 2 diabetic, to possibly give this medication a chance and see if it is a tool for you to help you get your blood glucose under control. Speak with your doctor about it, speak to your primary care physician or your specialist, and see if this is something that you want to do for your health as well. Until I see you again here on the channel, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.